Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Sage Horton, and this is
Dwayne Goodman.
And we're here tonight on 60 Seconds, and we're going to be talking a lot about tigers.
And now, I should add, tigers are dangerous creatures and have been known to kill people in the wild. But some people want them as pets, like me. But these beasts may be killers, but given the right treatment, they could be warm, loving pets. After all, they're just like big cats.
Yeah, these animals are just big. Males are much bigger than the females, though. Males can get almost 10 feet in length and can weigh upwards of 500 pounds. It's freaking huge, right?
Huge.
Females are roughly 8 feet in length and about 350 pounds.
You know, Sage, we have an exclusive interview with someone who owns a tiger. But the special thing about this tiger, it has white fur.
I didn't even know that those existed.
Now I do.
Those must be rare then, right? It says here about 5,000 orange Bengal tigers are roaming in the wild, and about 500 of those have this white pigment mutation.
Ooh, what a sight to see. Why don't we switch over to the pet tiger expert to see what he has to do to raise this tiger?
Here with me today, exotic pet owner Paul Doberman. Paul, tell me a little bit about your animal. For starters, what is it?
Well, I own 2 white tigers. This one here is Bruiser.
How long have you had these pets for?
About 7 years ago, I got them when they were cubs, about 3 months old. Their mother died from a disease shortly after their birth. Luckily, it didn't spread to the cats I have now. Gosh, these kitties grow up fast. They're fully grown after just a couple of years.
Did their mother die from genetic deformity, as some other white tigers have been known for?
No, she didn't get any deformities, but it has been an issue for some people. The way these white tigers are bred in captivity is incestual, and it can cause these deformations. Activists are very upset over this breeding. They want it to stop.
What are your thoughts on the matter?
I'm just hoping to provide a nice environment for the tigers I have to help discredit any negative stereotypes about the people that own these animals.
It must be difficult to raise tigers. How has cost played a factor in everything they need?
The habitat we have has been built over time. We have expanded the area, what we have, and have added natural shading, trees, open fields, big fountain for them to swim in. They each eat about 10 pounds of food a day, sometimes ranging up to 15 throughout the week, because they only eat 5 times a week. In the wild, they tend to fast for a couple of days, so we try and give them that practice here too. Food can get expensive, about $4,000 or $5,000 a year just to feed the both of them. But the cost of the land, what goes into taking care of them, is a lot more. I've probably spent a couple $100,000 over the years.
That's a lot for these tigers. You must love them very much. Was it difficult to get them here in Vermont?
No, it's not that hard. There's a permit required to own one of these pets.
Are you ever worried that they're going to attack you, or is there any special training required?
Sometimes I do get worried when they start to act aggressively, but they respond to me easily and calmly because I have trained them to do so by the sound of a clicker. After they hear me use the clicker once or twice, they tend to calm down and look for a treat. The key is to give them it in a timely fashion so they don't get aggressive again. They're more docile than people think. They behave like a normal cat, just much bigger, a bit more dangerous.
Definitely bigger than a normal cat. Now, back to you guys at the studio.
Thanks, Simon. Wow, how about those cats?
Yeah, that was one big boy. I have a house cat, but he's not nearly that big.
Honestly, I wonder how similar it is to own a house cat and to raising a tiger.
I have no idea, but next we're going to a scientist to figure this out and more.
Thanks guys, and hello to everyone at home. We are here today with Regit A2, who is a zoologist that specializes on white tigers and big cat behavior. So how domesticable are tigers?
We domesticated cats around the same time as dogs, but we didn't change the savanna cats the same way that we did wolves, so they are not dependent on us. Out of all the animals we have domesticated, they will go feral the fastest. So in theory, a tiger raised in captivity should act like a big house cat, As long as you raise them right and keep them stimulated and fed, they should remain pretty docile.
How are they more harmful?
Well, they are predatory carnivores. They hunt and kill to get their food. So a lot of their natural instincts are to chase and catch prey. Generally, tigers are just territorial. However, a study done in Nepal took note of the tiger attacks on humans when they entered their habitat.
Can you talk more about this study?
Certainly. It was to see the frequency of attacks by different wild animals. Of the 5 animals studied, bears, elephants, leopards, rhinos, and tigers, the tigers had the least amount of attacks, and the attacks were on humans that were mainly in the tiger's territory. Tigers only attack humans when they feel threatened, or the human gets too close to their dens.
Wow, are there a lot of tiger attacks from captive tigers?
Not frequently, and they're usually caused by a lack of good care or seeing a variety of caretakers instead of the same face over and over. For example, attacks are more common in zoos than at homes, since the tiger at homes are often held by caring owners.
What are the total deaths each year for tigers?
On average, 85 or fewer people are hurt each year by tigers, and most of them are accidental. Owning a tiger is a full-time job, and giving them the environment that they need means that you are spending a lot of time with this large predator that is designed to kill.
What does this environment look like?
For a domestic habitat, having a wide area to roam in is best. When we started to domesticate animals, they needed to serve a purpose. We choose animals that best fit our needs. They're also smart animals, so they sometimes need to be mentally engaged through toys or something like that. This could be a big deal. If the animal is not engaged enough, they might develop stereotype Bs. Stereotype Bs are abnormal repetitive behaviors that can be harmful to an animal or their caretaker. Tigers need an area to roam as their territory, and they need shelter from the elements. A tiger's diet should consist of mostly animal protein, and they need about 10 to 15 pounds 5 times a week. 10 to 15 pounds in a week, and are fed 5 times a week in increasing amounts. They have about the same lifespan as domestic house cat, so they are not a lifetime commitment. If the tiger is raised correctly, it will see its humans as parents and will not feel threatened by them.
Interesting. So what would a poor environment look like?
Tigers that are captive in zoos are given more room to roam around, but it may not be enough. Also, the caretakers may not always be adequate since they are there for a paycheck. Some tigers, however, are kept in small cages and used for research. These small cages are what lead to stereotypies. These harmful behaviors can hurt the animal and their caretakers. It's possible that these behaviors are the leading cause of accidental injury or death. They can become very neurotic and develop pacing. They walk in a straight line, confined space, and may attack anyone that gets in their way. They can also develop paw chewing and fur pulling. These stereotypies can all be avoided by giving them enough stimulation as they grow and enough room to play and roam around in.
So why did we start domesticating tigers?
Tigers would have been hard for our ancestors to domesticate because of their sheer size and power. The smallest savanna cats fit our needs better. We first started bringing tigers into captivity when circuses began showing animals around the country. After they became endangered, we started breeding them in captivity, which is also the time we realized that the Bengal tiger had a white pigment mutation. This led to us to select the white pigmentation as something to breed for. We chose it for the way it looked, just because of the aesthetic. One of the key components to domesticating animals is selective breeding programs to change them for a desire.
You have mentioned stereotypes and how they occur a couple of times now. Is there a way to reverse them?
Unfortunately, this is something that I do not have enough information on. There are a couple of animal behaviorists working on this, including well-known veteran and veterinarian and animal behaviorist Temple Grandin. It is something that we need to study more, not only for the sake of the tigers, but for all captive and domestic animals and their caretakers.
What are some of the things these animal behaviorists are doing to study this knowledge gap?
One thing we could do would be to cage a tiger and have it develop a stereotype B, then move it to an open field environment while it's still in captivity, and hopefully the transition to a bigger pen can reverse the psychological damage.
Wow, thanks for informing us about white tigers. Having them seems like something most people could if they had enough resources and knowledge. I believe our time has come to an end. Is there anything you would like to leave us with?
As long as someone has the resources, they shouldn't have a problem raising tigers.
Back to you guys at the studio.
That's incredible. The ability to own your own white tiger. It's quite unfortunate though that their gene pool has gotten that small.
And honestly, that sounds like an ethical dilemma that is up for individuals to consider for themselves when acquiring a white tiger for themselves. Next up is a story about a large ape harassing a local college kid.